Hello everybody, welcome to the Christmas show, and I'm Jeff Dobbs. Today's show is going to be a good one, just like they all are. First thing we're going to do on today's show is head over to Northeast Harbor and visit Mark Campbell. For those of you who don't know him, he owns Provisions, and he has all kinds of interesting gourmet things for Christmas gift ideas. And we'll be visiting Mark and going to a fashion show and many, many other things right after these messages. The Christmas shopping headache.
Huge traffic jams, no parking spaces, slow-moving mobs, overcrowded shops, pushy people, long checkout lines, it's just too much.
Solution: shop Bar Harbor.
No traffic jams, parking is easy, sidewalks are pleasing, uncrowded shops, no checkout lines, nice scenic drive. What a great idea!
Do yourself a favor and shop Bar Harbor this Christmas, and have dinner too. There's something for everyone at West End Drug, where you can find competitive prices right here on the island. The cosmetic counter carries most of the Chanel line in powder, body lotions and sprays, as well as Shalimar, Opium, and Estee Lauder perfumes. West End Drug has a fine selection of wallets, Timex watches, as well as bows, wrapping paper, ornaments, and stocking stuffers. Can't find it? Look through the catalog at West End Drug and pick up your order 4 days later. West End Drug, open 7 days a week. Get hot this Christmas and give something warm. Boots, shirts, jackets, mittens, and more for the whole family at Willie's Style Center on High Street in Ellsworth, and everything's 30% off. And welcome back. And as promised, we are making our annual pilgrimage over here to visit Mark Campbell. Ta-da, Mark Campbell.
Thank you, Jeff. Good to see you.
Take a bow. Say hello to all you have. This is like his own show every year.
Yes, every 5 years now we've been doing this.
Well, I want to thank you for letting us come back, first of all.
Nice to have you here.
Unfortunately, Les Tomlin couldn't make it today, so I had to fill in for him. Les is he's a big star now, so he will be on today's show, I believe, in another capacity.
He just wanted more money, or
no?
Okay.
We don't pay him anything. No,
we don't pay either one of us.
He's doing community service. He'll be talking with people at Patch.
Very good.
And trying once again to explain what Patch is all about. But back to Mark Campbell and ta-da, Provisions.
Provisions.
This year the theme at Christmas here at Provisions is baskets. Take it away, Mark.
We decided, thank you, Jeff, finally. We've decided this year to focus our attention on display baskets for gifts. And some of the items we've come up with have been theme baskets. And our first one today is sun-dried tomatoes from California.
Help you with that one.
And they come just as straight sun-dried tomatoes in a bag, or as dried tomato bits. These are wonderful, tossed on top of a salad. Marinated dried bits, useful in large pieces if you're making a stuffed pork roast. And a tapenade, which has more spices added to just the dried tomatoes, used in salads once again, or for spices.
Can we back up for 1 second?
Yes.
Obviously, because Christmas baskets are #1 here this year, you've had success with them in the past. They're very successful.
Yes, it's been one of the best items we've had.
People enjoy coming in and putting
specifically
together.
For people you don't know what to get them for a gift. If they're a good cook, then we have some that are oriented towards good cooks. If they just like to eat, like I do, then we have some that are oriented towards just the
Well, let's see some more.
This one is full of items that you very, very seldom find around Maine.
Sushi.
Everything is from Japan, and it's totally oriented towards a sushi dinner, or sashimi for those of you who know the difference between the two. We have nori and pickled ginger, a rice mix for appetizers beforehand, rice wine, short grain rice, and wasabi, which is an incredibly hot Japanese horseradish.
Well,
all you need for
I'm
this
not much
is
of a
raw
sushi
fish.
man, I have to admit that, but you must have something here that I might enjoy.
I think you'd like the rice cracker mix.
Okay.
It has hot, spicy.
It's like little rocks.
Little rocks in it, yes, expensive little rocks.
All right, let's go on to the next basket, because we haven't got all day.
Our next basket is totally oriented toward the gourmet. There's some wonderful items on here from Santa Barbara. These are jalapeno stuffed olives.
Ooh.
Make martinis taste like martinis should taste. Tea martinis. And Romanoff caviar, lumpfish caviar, for those of you who can't afford the real stuff, at $300 a pound. This is salmon caviar. It's much better than, lumpfish caviar. Macadamia Mauna macadamia nuts.
Wow.
Thank you.
Mahalo.
Mahana. Liver pate with real truffles, and another nice smaller package of an Oriental spice mix. And an all-together package. Centerpiece is Benny Bits from those people who are down in the south. These are a wonderful, subtle, appetizing, and tangy cocktail bit used just before dinner.
Rough idea, how much is this basket?
This basket runs about $25.
And the average basket you put together?
Between 25 and 35. Some of them are a little bit less.
That's perfect for people who are who don't know, obviously you're shopping for somebody that you don't like that much. No, some of the...
Talk with you about that afterwards. This is...
$25 is the price range where when you're buying something for somebody you don't really know, and it's...
Or if you just can't find anything to buy for them anymore.
Yeah.
You've given them, it's no ties. I have more green ties than I care to think about. This basket is totally oriented towards Mexico. All the items in it are salsa and a commemorativa salsa, which is wonderfully hot, not for everybody. Made from Maine is just Nervous Nelly's jams and jelly jalapeno sauce.
Ooh.
Very nice, made down in Deer Isle. And oat bran, for those of you who are suffering from cholesterol problems, this is
Thank you, Mark.
a wonderful way to eat your chips, because it has absolutely no cholesterol.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
We offer an option of wicker baskets or metal baskets also, and the price runs about the same. This one would run about $20 for the basket and everything inside of it.
Not bad. Okay, let's bring another one over here. All right. And what's this one?
Well, this is a special basket. We're running some baskets from the MDI workshop, and everything in this basket, it's a clam hod, is from Maine. Again, Nervous Nelly's jams and jellies. Morgan's Mill's Griffles. These are an old-fashioned griddle cake mix. And West Breeze Farm maple apple syrup. This is a combination of maple syrup and apple syrup together, made down in Auburn, Maine. And this whole basket, I think, is about $12.
Interesting, interesting. And what's this other little clam hod you have coming over here?
Another clam hod, again with 2 items from Nervous Nelly's. This whole basket is only around $12. And this is all shrink wrap. Shrink wrap? Shrink wrap.
No, it's shrink wrap.
Shrink wrap.
We have to call Bob Pyle.
We're just starting to do this, so we're not sure what to call it. It's for ease of shipping. We can ship anywhere in the United States, as well as we deliver by hand any place here on the island.
Okay.
And this one runs, as I was saying, around $12.
Nervous Nelly's.
Nervous Nelly's.
All right. Let's...
And this is another example of an all Maine-oriented basket.
All right.
This has 2 beer breads. Wonderful way to make bread. All you add
What was that? Beer bread?
Beer bread.
Oh, okay. Could you explain that?
Add a can of beer. I was just about to. Thank you very much. You add a can of beer to each mix. Don't let it rise. Just stir it up. 55 minutes in your oven, and it rises up to a wonderful bread that's absolutely phenomenal for toast. And to go with the toast idea, we have Swans of Maine, raspberry whipped honey.
Thank you, because I didn't have the answer. But how many loaves of bread can you have and still drive?
One loaf of bread from each one of these, and thankfully all the alcohol burns off.
Oh. Speaking of not soleil, we have not so much time left, but we must bring up the
one more item.
That's the thing that we started the whole...
Yes.
I'll go get it.
Why don't you go get it?
Here it is.
There he is, folks.
The baskets, because Mark is really doing baskets up big
baskets this year.
You do wine baskets?
Yes, we do. We can't ship wine out of state, but we can certainly deliver them anywhere here on the island.
Okay.
And we'll advise you on what kind of wines will go well with a certain basket.
Mark's doing all kinds of baskets, which range in retail from like 10 or 12?
10 up to 100. I think the biggest basket we've ever done was about $120.
And that
and it wasn't
caviar,
for you.
Yeah, it wasn't for me. Thanks a lot,
That's
Mark.
okay.
He's inferring that
I know who buys for Jeff. Nobody buys for Jeff.
Well, Mark.
Anybody who wants to buy for Jeff, come see us.
Yeah.
We'll talk you out of it.
I want the champagne down over here.
This is another clam hod from the workshop.
That's right. Featuring Maine.
Again, filled with Maine items. And we have a wonderful new item over here. These are sea chips, and made totally from kelp, dried dulse. You see their chips. Kelp and dried dulse. Wonderful flavor, low in cholesterol, no salt. Again, Griffles, and a new item. This is a pumpkin jam made from pumpkins.
Mark, I hate to tell you this, but we are just about out of time. We are at Provisions. This is Mark Campbell.
This is Jeff Dobbs.
That's right. And Mark, come on over. That's easy for me to say. And come and see Mark's entire line of everything. He's got the most interesting things here on the island.
And we promise you Jeff won't be here.
Right. And thanks again.
Thank you, Jeff.
For letting us come and visit you.
We'll see you again next year.
Don't drop that basket.
I won't drop that basket.
Okay. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you.
Season's greetings from your friends at the Bar Harbor Banking and Trust Company.
Merry Christmas!
Happy holidays!
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy holidays!
Merry Christmas!
Happy holidays!
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year!
Season's greetings.
Merry Christmas! Happy New Year!
Bar Harbor Banking and Trust Company, serving coastal Maine person to person for over 100 years. Looking for fun Christmas decorating ideas? FT Brown, your trustworthy hardware store, carries everything from Christmas lights to wrapping paper. Want something for the hard to please? There's FT Brown's Housewares department. For your favorite handyman, check out the complete line of Makita power tools, featuring cordless drills, saws, and jigsaws. And new this winter, you can rent cross-country skis at FT Brown, your trustworthy hardware store, Bar Harbor and Northeast Harbor. Tired of the crowded chain stores? Suzanne's Harbor V&S Variety is a wonderful old-fashioned 5 and 10 store. At Suzanne's, you are greeted with lots of smiles and enthusiasm as you shop for anything from sleds to office supplies to cards and candy. Suzanne's V&S Variety also has a large selection of craft materials, housewares, and baby gifts. Suzanne's Harbor V&S Variety, Southwest Harbor. A nifty Christmas shop. After a hard day of Christmas shopping, treat yourself to a delicious meal at Spinnaker's Restaurant overlooking the harbor in Southwest Harbor. Spinnaker's is open for lunch and dinner every day but Monday. And like Carlos says,
join the Vangelli family at the Spinnaker Restaurant in Southwest Harbor for great food.
And the Vangelli family wishes each and every one of you a safe and happy holiday season. Well, I hope you enjoyed the visit to Mark Campbell. I do every year, and it was the first time I actually got to interview him. Les Tomlin normally did it, but Les is taking the year off. I actually know he isn't. He will be coming up later on in the show. He'll be talking to the new director of Patch here in Bar Harbor, but I'll let him fill you in on that. Coming up next on the Christmas show, we're going to go over to the College of the Atlantic and visit Steve Katona, who's the director of Allied Whale, and find out what's going on.
No mammal seems to elicit more admiration than whales. At College of the Atlantic in Bar Harbor, Maine, there is a unique program, Allied Whale, which strives to understand and thereby protect whale species. It was founded by the college and Dr. Stephen Katona. Dr. Katona told me about the inception of Allied Whale.
Started a long time ago in 1972 is one of the first things that the College of the Atlantic did in its first year of existence. It was a time when people were boycotting Japan and were worried that there might not be any whales in 1989, and we had a workshop of students and myself and another teacher looking into the relations between people and the great whales.
Allied Whale has been a busy organization since 1972. Dr. Katona spoke about their current projects.
Many of the projects that we're doing now started then or shortly thereafter and have been going on for a long time. Whales live for a long time. We're not quite sure how long, but we think maybe as long as a person. And so you have to study them for a long time in order to really understand what's happening with individuals and with the population. So starting in 1973, we began a whale watch on Mount Desert Rock, which is 25 miles from here. And we stationed people on the island during the summer to look at the whales that came by and photograph them and count the number of seals and dolphins and porpoises and make observations on seabirds and land birds migrating by the station. After that, we wrote a field guide to the whales, porpoises, and seals of the Gulf of Maine, and that's now going to go into a 4th edition soon. That was to help people understand what kinds of species were out there, because at the time we started, really nobody quite knew. The next thing that we did, starting in 1976, was to begin to catalog photographs of individual humpback whales. And we've continued that project until now, and the North Atlantic Humpback Whale Catalog has over 4,000 individuals in it, and we're the curating center for the entire ocean, working with colleagues from all over the world on that project. And starting in 1982, and I think buoyed by the success of the Humpback Whale Catalog, our colleagues asked us to curate a new catalog for fin whales. And this is now called the North Atlantic Finback Whale Catalog, and it has 350 individuals in it that are now identified each individually, and another 500 whales that we're working on. And again, this is a collaborative project right now, working with scientists and groups from the Canadian and American coasts of the Atlantic, but ultimately we hope to extend that work over to Canada, also to Europe also.
As with any successful program, many people have collaborated to make allied whale work.
Well, we have quite a crew here. Right now, most of the allied whale people are up in the Bay of Fundy on an expedition to study and photograph fin whales and humpback whales. So in the office here, it's a little bit quiet today, but we have me and I think 6 or 7 research associates, and we have a number of work-study students. Many of our research associates are graduates of the college who are continuing their work here before they go out into further their careers. So it's quite a crew, and it changes. It's not as if we have memberships or anything like that for people to work here, but we're really the marine mammal research arm of the College of the Atlantic, and many of us have worked together for a long time.
Cataloging is a large part of the research done at Allied Whale. Dr. Katona explained how they differentiate between one whale and another.
If you do get a good look at a whale, and even a porpoise for that matter, and you make a good photograph, you will note that there are differences between individuals. So as long as the animal is big enough and easy enough to photograph, and perhaps in a manageable sized group, you can take a good photograph and compare it with other photographs taken later or even earlier sometimes. Sometimes we get a photograph taken 20 years ago that shows up, and we are occasionally able to match the individual with some animal in our collection now. In the case of humpback whales, we look at markings on the underside of the tail. The black and white pattern is really quite distinctive and very long-lasting. Some of our animals have been seen repeatedly over a period of 15 years or more. In the case of fin whales, they're a little bit trickier. We have to look at the dorsal fin and also some of the very subtle coloration on the right side of the head. And if you combine those and also look for other scars, perhaps on the body, you can usually tell individuals apart. One of our colleagues, Scott Krause, who helped start Allied Whale in 1972 and who did with me the first humpback whale catalog, now works on right whales, and in that species the very rough callosities, they're called, on the front of the head are used to tell the individuals apart. So many of the big whales now have been studied in this way. Different groups are studying them in different places, but the information is all being pooled together in a collaborative way to understand the biology of these animals.
The Christmas shopping headache.
Huge traffic jams, no parking spaces, slow-moving mobs, overcrowded shops, pushy people, long checkout lines, it's just too much.
Solution: shop Bar Harbor.
No traffic jams, parking is easy, sidewalks are pleasing, uncrowded shops, no checkout lines, nice scenic drive, what a great idea!
Do yourself a favor and shop Bar Harbor this Christmas, and have dinner too.
Concerning worldwide whale conservation, Dr. Katona believes research leading to more understanding of whales is crucial to their continued existence.
The very idea that whales can be identified as individuals has really changed the perspective of many people. In the past, you know, whales were hunted and never known as individuals, with the rare exception of an individual like, say, Moby Dick. But most of them were ground up into oil and meat or meal, and never, ever understood to be anything other than a bulk commodity. So the first thing that's happened as a result of these studies is that people have a new appreciation for the population as being made up of individuals. The next thing that happened is that during the whaling days, and in particular the whaling of this century, scientists were at least trying to understand the biology of the animals, and they were doing the best they could using pieces of the carcasses that were caught by the hunters. And it's true, a great deal was learned, but in each case, the whale who contributed that information was gone forever. Now, using individual identification, the animal can be studied repeatedly, and so each whale can be studied over, potentially, its entire life cycle. In our collection now, there are whales who've been identified first as calves and followed subsequently until they matured and had their own babies, and in some cases, their babies have grown up to be mothers also. And we're getting pretty close now to third generations if you pool all the data from the different research groups.
The Adopt-A-Whale program allows people to support research while learning about finback whales. When you adopt a whale, you receive a photograph and a brief history about your whale and a record of its sightings.
Adopt-A-Whale is one of the really successful ventures that we've made in financing research. One of the things that we've found out about whales over the years is that people are just nuts for them, and I think rightly so. They're just wonderful animals and worth every bit of effort that we can invest to make sure that our children and their children can have these animals around in the future. And one of the ways that the public has been able to help to support our research has been by adopting a whale. What happens is that for $30, a person can write in and take a choice of a number of whales that we have up for adoption and get a photograph and a biography of that particular individual, as well as other information about finback whales as a whole. So our adoption program revolves around finback whales and is designed to help support the field work and all of the laboratory work that's necessary to keep track of the individuals.
Dr. Katona explains how individuals can help with the Allied Whale program as well as other conservation efforts.
Well, I think there are a lot of things that people can do just in their daily lives that are worth keeping in mind. I think that the biggest danger to whales overall is probably not hunting, which can be really regulated, and I think it can be kept track of relatively easily. On the other hand, the whale's environment is gradually deteriorating as a result of all of the things that we do to it. More boats, oil spills, disposal of garbage, wastes of all kinds, and all of these things are side effects of our activities, our industrial and our domestic activities, none of which are designed to hurt whales. Nobody wants to hurt a whale. No ship wants to hit it, no fisherman wants to get one tangled in his net, and nobody wants a whale to get, I think, injured or hurt in any way. Nonetheless, so much of what we do is impacting the ocean. So I think that the more that a person can live lightly on the planet and minimize the amount of trash, the amount of fuel that's burned, minimize any unnecessary energy expenditures. All of that eventually does help whales and all of the other inhabitants of the planet, including ourselves. On the other hand, all of this takes the cooperation of everybody, and it's a sort of a shotgun approach. It's something that's necessary in the long run, but there's more that can be done in the short run. And I think that any monies that are contributed to organizations such as ours that save whales or that do research on them, or that I think save the marine environment in general, any of these kinds of organizations really deserve the support of all of us, because without that support, I'm really very fearful that whales will probably disappear, not tomorrow or next year, but I think over the next several centuries, without really concentrated actions on the part of our species. The whales and many other creatures are just going to be gone forever.
Allied Whale sustains its research through government and foundation grants, but most of the funds come from private donations. If you'd care to contribute, please do so through College of the Atlantic, Bar Harbor, Maine.
Best wishes for the holidays from the crew at Don Shop and Save.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! And Happy New Year!
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year!
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year!
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year! Jingle bells!
Don Shop and Save, where shopping is always a pleasure. And now it's time to change the subject from whales to people, and how a local-based group is trying to help you live a longer, more productive life. And now I'm going to turn it over to Les Tomlin, who's going to introduce you to the new coordinator for Patch.
We'd like to bring you up to date on the progress of the local organization known as PATCH. PATCH stands for Planned Approach to Community Health. And we are currently talking to you from the hospital in Bar Harbor, the Mount Desert Island Hospital, which is the official home of PATCH on the island. In 1985, there was a meeting of all concerned citizens under the auspices of the Health Department of the state and the Centers for Disease Control of Atlanta, and with the help of the College of the Atlantic. Quite a few people attended that meeting, out of which evolved a steering committee to further the plans of PATCH. In 1985 we started, in 1986 was the first comprehensive survey done by telephone, in which 700 homes were reached. And as a result of the analysis of those surveys, we were able to prioritize and determine where our attention should be concentrated in the health problems and lifestyles of the island. You might call it a sort of an Operation Bootstrap. It was a fascinating way of a community addressing its own health problems in an honest and very inexpensive way, since it was all volunteer help. We decided that after the priorities were set, that we would first address certain areas, leaving out the top problems such as alcoholism and substance abuse, because they were pretty well under control with the places on the island that were addressing those problems and doing a good job. It became apparent as time went on that we needed more help, and that all the people who had helped in the surveys and in the steering committee could not continue. So we were fortunate in being able to hire a professional, at first on a part-time basis and eventually on a full-time basis, to coordinate and run the patch office. In 1987, another smaller survey was done to make sure we were on the right track and that we were consistent in those areas that we were addressing, namely smoking cessation, cholesterol screenings, and so forth. Recently, we were unfortunate in that we lost our wonderful coordinator, who went on to better things and higher education. But on the other hand, we were fortunate in getting a replacement, well qualified, another professional who has joined us. And we are going to continue along the path that we have been for the last few years. The hospital has now established the patch organization as a department of the hospital and maintains offices. The Center for Disease Control and the State Health Department, the Extension Service of the county is very active in our support, and we've been fortunate in getting certain grants to underwrite a great deal of our costs. We now have, as of a couple of weeks ago, our new coordinator. I'd like you to meet Miss Susan Emmons, who comes to us, a Mainer from Kennebunkport, and she has taken over, and I'm going to ask her to not only review what we have been doing currently, but what she feels is the role of the coordinator, and to go into somewhat the plans for 1990 for the patch organization and what our needs are. Sue, would you fill us in?
Thanks, Les. I guess the role of the coordinator really is to act as the liaison and coordinate the partnership that exists between the State of Maine Department of Health Promotion and Education, the community, its steering committee, its task forces, and all of the volunteers that help bring patch programs to existence, and also the Center for Disease Control. So acting on those activities, we really have established 3 areas of emphasis that we work with. Those are, again, smoking, exercise, and cholesterol and nutrition. The smoking activities have, in the past, been geared to develop a base of self-help materials that exist for the community. We work with the American Lung Association's Freedom from Smoking materials, and we've also tried to provide at least 4 programs a year. We'd like to see those programs now evolve into the worksite and start working again with programs in the worksite and also with policy making and setting no smoking policies. Some of our focus for the future in smoking will be to kind of attract those people that have quit smoking in the past and maybe have fallen off the track. Statistics show that it takes about 6 times to quit smoking. So if you see ads for people that have fallen off the track, that's okay. We want to provide some support for you to get back on and not to feel discouraged if you've gone back to smoking. In the area of exercise, we've really, it's been amazing to view all that's been done with patch in the past 3 years. One of the most interesting things that has continued is the sale of our senior adult fitness tape. This tape was originally targeted for individuals who had a problem accessing some of the fitness programs that were happening in the community. And there again, it was also for the aging population that sometimes develop risk factors because of inactivity. Again, the tape is continuing to sell. We're just getting back what we put into it, and it's a wonderful feeling to have requests coming in constantly for this adult video fitness tape. A new area in the exercise program is going to be with family exercise. You may have participated in an October walk, which is there again concentrating on the activity and exercise that can be done by a whole family, and also taking advantage of the rich resources that the park offers in those areas. We want to emphasize non-competitive exercise for some people who may not have experience in a lot of the more competitive areas, and there again, those exercise activities that can be done on an individual basis and really develop your own program. Today we have Carol Peterson to talk a little bit about cross-country skiing. This program can, or exercising in cross-country skiing is a wonderful way to, again, take advantage of the rich resources we have to offer. Carol will talk a little bit about the benefits of cross-country skiing and the ease of doing it and the experience you need, which is very little.
Carol Peterson's from the National Park Service, and she's very well acquainted with all these carriage paths and other trails, not only for skiing but walking. And she'll join us right after this word from some of our friends.
I've been shopping all day.
Well, you could have saved time and bought quality gifts at Curtis Book and Stationery Store.
Hey, they've got gifts for the kitchen, glassware, frames, pottery, pens, and art supplies, too.
Look at the fun toys, puzzles, games, and gifts for all ages.
And books, what a great gift for Christmas.
Look, Hallmark gift wrap, Christmas cards, and tree ornaments, too.
I should have wrapped up my Christmas shopping at Curtis Book and Stationery Store in downtown Ellsworth.
Red wagons filled with wooden blocks, tote bags, sweatshirts, aprons decorated with a gaggle of geese, storage chests, handmade rugs, baskets, cutting boards, coat racks, and log holders. Just a sample of the beautiful crafted handmade items waiting for you at the MDI Workshop. Here you'll find a collection of quality gifts from 16 contributing workshops throughout Maine. And the MDI Workshop on Route 3, the road to Bar Harbor.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Susan Emmons, the patch coordinator here on Mount Desert Island. I'm here now with Carol Peterson, a park ranger, who's going to talk to us about cross-country skiing as an exercise choice.
Yeah, hi Susan. Thanks for inviting me. We get asked a lot of questions in the summertime, so what happens in Acadia in the winter? What do people do here? They think everything pretty much closes down, and certainly in the fall after the leaves have dropped, our number of visitors to the park drops off quite a bit too, but since we've had such a substantial snowfall, we've had a lot of phone calls now asking about cross-country skiing, and certainly like to recommend it to everyone locally as an excellent form of exercise in the wintertime. I think it's been pretty well documented that cross-country skiing is probably one of the best aerobic sports that there is. It's accessible to everyone. You don't need to be an Olympic level cross-country skier to get out and enjoy the facilities we have here at Acadia National Park and on Mount Desert Island. It's also a sport that's available for just about any age of person. I've skied with people probably as young as about 3 years old, and some of my very best ski friends were fellows, are fellows well up into their 70s. So it's something for lots of ages, and also something you don't need a lot of experience to get out and try. I would say it might be good to get some basics from someone. I'm not sure around here what sort of lessons are available, but even if you have a friend who can get out and show you some of the basics, I think you'll feel a lot more comfortable getting out and getting on your skis. Things I would recommend is if you're going to head out and do some skiing, that you need to know some things about how to get your equipment off and on. Big point there. And also important things like how to get up when you fall, which can be a real problem for beginners. We have some real nice terrain around here for skiing, nothing terribly steep, but you also probably need to have some pointers on how to stop and some things to do when you're changing grades while skiing. People are concerned about what kind of equipment you need when you go out and cross-country ski. The cross-country ski market has really taken off in the last few years, and someone who would go into a a store that had a lot of cross-country ski equipment might be very confused. There's a wide range of skis available today, everything from racing skis to touring skis to heavy-duty skis for backcountry use. Basically what people would want here is probably a nice touring ski. There are some stores in the area that rent skis, and as with many other things, it's probably good to go in and maybe rent some equipment when you're first going to go out and try the skiing, and it'll help you make decisions later as to what you want to purchase. I think a good point to mention about looking at skis, probably a real basic difference that's available today is a wax ski and a waxless ski. And I think that might be confusing for people. People who are beginners may be a little intimidated when they go out to ski and they see someone out there with their skis and all these different colors and types of waxes. Sometimes people have thermometers down in the snow trying to figure out what is the wax of the day, and you get a little worried if you're a beginner. The waxing is helping your ski actually glide across the snow surface, but also giving it enough grab so it's able to climb. I actually, especially in this area where our snow conditions change quite a bit from a fresh snowfall to a crusty snow, would really recommend for beginners it might be best that they look into waxless skis. Waxless skis have a pattern over a part of the bottom that gives you both a gliding surface and enough grab when you're climbing. So that's, I think, a real important thing for beginners to look at. If you go in, and you can probably get some great deals on ski packages fairly inexpensively for cross-country skis. Lots of communities have great ski swaps. If you go into a ski swap and you are a beginner, it's good if you have somebody along with you that can help you a little bit as far as sizing. Length of poles, length of skis are important things for beginners to think about, and they probably need a little guidance on that.
How about some of the resources that the trails or maps that you might provide for people to use while skiing in the park?
Yeah, I think many people in the community are probably familiar with the park map that's handed out year-round. This has an excellent map inside that will show the trails in the park, and specifically the carriage roads, which are probably our best resource for cross-country skiing. There's about 57 miles of them out there. They're shown pretty clearly on this map. I want people to also know about, and certainly not putting any plugs for people having to spend money, but there is an excellent guide to the carriage roads out, costing $2.95, and what you'll find inside is a map that shows all the carriage roads in the park, and a number of people who've been out exploring the carriage roads, whether you've been on skis or walking or bicycling, you see at intersections not just the old carriage road signs, but you see some numbers. Maybe you've seen them out there, and some visitors go, well, what are those numbers for? Believe me, you'd probably be more confused without this guidebook trying to go by just the names on the sign than you will with the numbers. Each of the numbers then show in the guidebook, and the guidebook will also go into some different loops and give you some mileage. Back when people were in horse-drawn carriages, maybe 4 or 5 miles difference didn't matter too much. But if you're out on cross-country skis, you really want to know where you are. And I think if you're going to go out quite a bit, this is a real good booklet to pick up. We also have an addition to the park map. It's a winter activities guide that's available, and people should know that although the large visitor center at Hulls Cove is closed now, we do have the park headquarters open every day of the week from 8 to 4:30, except on holidays. This winter activities guide would help people a little bit with access into the park. Most people realize that not all the park loop road is plowed in the winter time, but there are some access points that are plowed, and this brochure will highlight that. Also give you some tips on winter sports in the park. As far as using the carriage roads, you're going to find a pretty good range of skill levels on the carriage roads. By and large, most of them are pretty accessible to beginner skiers and certainly to intermediate skiers. Most of us realize that people funnel to one area. You go by the Eagle Lake parking lot and it's packed. Local people want to I think should investigate some of the different access points and try to get in where there's maybe not such a crowd, maybe over at the Upper Hadlock Pond area, maybe even down by Little Long Pond in Seal Harbor. spread out a little bit. I think it's more enjoyable for everyone. This also will note the sections that are available for snowmobilers, and I think that's always something to bring up with cross-country skiers is be aware if you're out there skiing on the Park Loop Road and on a couple sections, short sections of the carriage roads, that snowmobiles are allowed, and you want to just kind of be watching out for them. Some skiers might appreciate them laying a bit of a track, but we don't want to be having any conflicts between the two different groups.
One final note on the safety. Any precautions that you should take before you go out?
Well, I can think about heading out onto the carriage roads here. You know, you plan to go out for a short day trip. There's always things that can happen that can extend your stay out, and one thing that really hits me here in the winter is how it gets dark so early. I think people going out for a day skiing should be prepared with some things we certainly all think about as far as having gloves, hat. It's always good to bring along extra pair of socks or something. In an emergency, they can be used as gloves. It's good to dress in layers of clothing. Cross-country skiing, you can get very hot. It's good to have layers that you can take off and put back on. People certainly push wool as an excellent material to be dressed in. It can keep you dry even when it's wet, or repels the moisture. There are different synthetic fibers out there now, polypropylene, Gore-Tex for outer shells. But good to dress in layers. You're surprised, people are surprised, I think, how much moisture you lose too. It's good to be drinking a lot. You should bring water along. Even make yourself drink when you don't feel thirsty, just to keep from getting dehydrated. Good to bring food, map of the area where you're headed. One thing I'm pretty bad about, but it's important, taking sunglasses, a sunscreen on a sunny day, and I think if you've got a little bitty flashlight, it doesn't hurt to put that in too, just because of our early hours of darkness here. I don't hesitate much going out skiing by myself. I know that's not always the best thing to do. I suspect some other people do that. I think a good thing to do, though, is to always let somebody know where you're headed. The park rangers do patrol in the winter and watch for cars being left in parking lots, but good to let someone know. There are some things maybe to think about as far as ski etiquette, too, people who haven't been out skiing a lot. We are having some tracks laid over around Eagle Lake, and cross-country skiers who go out and ski in an area really will appreciate if people don't get out and start walking in the tracks. People enjoy having their dogs out skiing with them. We need to remind people that dogs are to be on leashes, whether it's summer or winter time. So maybe those are a few things for people to think about.
Well, thank you, Carol. Again, we're here with Carol today as Patch, because what Patch really wants to do is provide and let you know about the healthy choices that exist in those areas of exercise, cholesterol, nutrition, and smoking. Les and I will be back in just a few minutes to talk about some of our future events.
Care Call, an old-fashioned concern by people who care for each other. Care Call is a safety reassurance program for people that live alone. You or your loved one can be sure that someone will be calling to make sure things are all right. Care Call is a program comprised of volunteers who regularly call your home at a prearranged time. There is no fee for Care Call. For information about being a participant or a volunteer for Care Call, call the Bar Harbor Division of Community Health Services Care Call Program, 288-5584. Holiday greetings from your friends at Medical Associates, Southwest Harbor and Bar Harbor.
Well, that certainly was interesting, and I wish that I were only just a couple of years younger. I'd get out there on the trail. Believe me, I'm just itching to, well, 10 or 20 or 30, 40 years younger. We thank Carol for being with us, and it's nice to have these people come in and help us, but that brings up another subject that I'm sure you're very aware of. Through the years, our steering committee has whittled down. Everyone has their own problems, and some people have to work. Some of us are retired, it makes it easier. But one of the things we do need is volunteers. And we need volunteers in many areas. For instance, you wouldn't think of it, we need people who can write, because we need someone to help with press releases and contacting people. We need people to work on various committees, people to make telephone calls. You may think that you don't have any talents that we need, but believe me, we can use about anything, or Susan can. And so the need for volunteers to join our little group, which we hope to keep up to at least a dozen, and sometimes we'll have a meeting and we'll just have 6 or 7 people show up out of the whole blooming committee. Well, anyhow, if you do find that you have any time to join us, call Susan here at the hospital, which is 288-5081, extension 203, and tell her what time you can give and in what area, and I'm sure she'll be most grateful. And I'll be most grateful if you will tell us what you plan to do, the activities for Patch in 1990.
Okay. Again,
anything interesting?
Oh, a few things. A few things.
I hope so.
Again, the volunteers are especially important in that capacity as far as helping us plan and get those events underway. We do have a few ideas that we would like to concentrate on in the area of exercise. We'd really like to bring together the people that are involved with walking and perhaps start a club or some sort of resource for those people, so that those people that are enjoying that activity can share it with people who may not be and would like to. We also, in the area of exercise, have had a suggestion about a dance, and I think Les especially is extremely excited about this idea. A lot of people are interested in the big band. We need organizations and people to help us pull this together. I think.
You're not talking rock and roll now.
No,
I'm not interested in that. You're talking about big bands, 30s and 40s?
You got it.
My kind of music?
Your kind of music.
My kind of music.
Yes.
When are you going to do this?
Well, we're looking towards the end of the winter into the spring. I think there's an amount of planning that needs to go along with this. And
maybe February?
No, well,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll get that committee together and we'll
So we need a committee for
a
senior citizens dance, and we're going to need not only people to come to the dance, we're going to need some other, maybe a little instruction, maybe a little exhibition dances and things like that.
Right.
And a lot of good music.
You got it, because you'll be playing the music, right?
Well, some of the big bands will be playing the music. I might just be helping them.
Right. In the area of cholesterol and nutrition, we have distributed our dining out guide. That's a guide that will help people make healthy choices at area restaurants, and the restaurants in the area have been extremely helpful in getting this together. And that's available if you'd also like to call our office when you're eating out in town. It's nice to know your options. Also in the area of cholesterol and nutrition, we look towards Project Lean, which is a national program. Project Lean stands for Low Fat Eating for America Now. Working with the national program, we would like to see some events in our supermarkets. We'd like to again distribute our dining out guide and start working with the cholesterol screenings, which have become so popular, and getting another component involved with that as far as educating people on healthy choices at the supermarket.
Well, you haven't been here too long, but I must tell you that the supermarkets, the restaurants, everyone has been most cooperative in town, not only in the restaurant guide, but in the smoking areas and restaurants and so forth. And which is especially difficult in a tourist town, you might say, but with the cooperation of the members of the Chamber of Commerce in Bar Harbor, it's a big help, a big plus. And so those are some of the things that you're going to continue with all the rest of the stuff that's been going on.
Yeah.
And these are just new little ideas you've come up with. I hope you come up with a lot more.
I will.
And I hope that you enjoy your stay here with us. We do want to hear from, we'd like to get together with employers who may have groups that are involved in exercise groups, and we want to emphasize our thanks for the cooperation of the Harbor House, the College of the Atlantic, and the Y, and the other organizations. And we hope that a lot of the other fraternal and business organizations on the island will see fit to jump in the cholesterol screening area and the nutrition area and the older people, even in this ballroom dancing area. Now, do you have anything more to tell about this report?
I guess just to say again that Patch is a planned approach to community health, and it's wonderful coming into this community and seeing the support that's here and the energy to start new things. And again, for the purpose of bringing those healthy choices that you have to you and letting you know about them and then encouraging you to make them.
Thank you, Susan, and welcome again.
Thank you.
Here's a couple of Christmas gift ideas for friends and relatives who are less fortunate and don't live on this beautiful island of ours. Portrait of an Island in Autumn in Acadia. Available at Dobbs Productions, The Acadia Shop, Sherman's Bookstore, First Exposure, and Don's Shop and Save. This Christmas, wrap up someone you love in a cozy Woolrich jacket or tuck them into a snug pair of Herman boots. Then fill their stockings with socks and belts, handkerchiefs and mittens, all from Willie's Style Center and all at 30% off. London Fog, Arrow, Pendleton, Levi, Hager, and more in a style and size to suit everyone on your list and at a price to suit your budget. Willie's Style Center on High Street in Ellsworth, open 9 to 9, Monday through Saturday, Sunday 12 to 5. Just like I promised all you out there, we are now going to have a fashion show, and we're starting off at none other than Gail's Garb, located right here in Cottage Street in Bar Harbor, and we have 6 lovely high school ladies who are going to be wearing some of Gail's finer apparel. This is Gail Caruso. How are you, Gail?
I'm fine.
You
How
sure?
are you? No, I'm not
This is a
sure.
real mess today, but we're going to have a hell of a show for you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, and now here are the girls. And here we have Brooke Carter. And what is she wearing, Miss Caruso?
Brooke is wearing an outfit from Marissa Christina. It's a new line for us this year. This is for their holiday. Usually the companies come out with pastel colors for holiday. The sweater is 100% cotton, and it has little pearls that are stitched in all over it. The skirt is a floral of rayon. It has an elasticized waist. Her shoes are by 9 West.
Very nice. And
Thank you, Brooke.
Thank you very much. And here's Cece Johnson.
Cece is wearing a vest by Beacon Street. Right now the trend is to tapestry is very popular now. Her blouse is by Beware. It's 100% cotton. It has pads in the shoulders. Her skirt is suede, and that's by J. Christopher.
Sure.
It's fully lined and it has a vent in the back. Her shoes are also by 9 West.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Cece. And here we have it. This is none other than Tessa Brophy.
Tessa's wearing a rayon dress by Cool It. It's a cutout. These are made in Bali. And all the little places where it's embroidered and cut out, this is done by hand, and they wrap threads individually to make all those little designs.
And those little Bali people, they're very
Yes.
busy all the time.
They sure are. Her shoes are suede, and they are by 9 West.
And now here's Robin Guthrie.
Robin has a dress on by Visions. This is also a new dress line for us this year. It has a sash, collar, front, double-breasted buttons, and it has what's called a petal design at the skirt line, which is very popular and feminine. Her shoes also are by 9 West. They're leather with black patent leather at the toes.
Very nice. Thank you very much. And here is Jessica Rhodes from Southwest
Jessica
Harbor.
is wearing a pantsuit by Cool It. It has a yoked waist.
Are you telling me to cool it? Oh,
Yeah,
it's the
I
company.
am, as a matter of fact. This is also made by Cool It out of Bali with the cutouts in the front. And her shoes are also by 9 West.
Okay, hang on right there for a second, Jessica. And thank you very much. And here's Sarah McFarlane.
Sarah's wearing this is called a coat dress by Zashi. You can wear it as a dress belted, or she could wear it as an outer coat. It buttons down the front and the placket is concealed. Her scarf is by Zashi. It's 100% silk. Her earrings are by Binky and Lulu. And her shoes are also
Who?
by
Binky and Lulu.
Binky and Lulu. It's two girls. It's
okay,
their
Sarah,
childhood.
we won't tell anybody.
It's their childhood nicknames, Binky and Lulu.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And we have Brooke Carter back once again.
Brooke is wearing a beautiful sweater by J. Christopher. It's 100% cotton. They make beautiful sweaters for year-round. Corduroy is back also this year, and her skirt is by J. Christopher. It's a pinwheel corduroy. It's adjustable at the waist.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Brooke. Cece Johnson is back once again.
Cece's wearing an outfit from Sweatabee with a double-breasted jacket.
Are you absolutely sure about that?
I think so, but
Okay.
I'm not too sure. And pants to match. It's elasticized in the back for comfort.
Uh-huh.
Looks nice, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much, Cece. And back again is Tessa Brophy.
Her outfit is all by Beware. It's 100% cotton. The top can be worn as a top or a jacket, as we're showing it. Her pants are elasticized at the waist for comfort, and these are worn a lot for exercising or just lounging.
Thank you, Tessa. And Robin Guthrie is back once again.
Robin's sweater is by Eric Stewart. They make all 100% cotton sweaters. Her scarf is an Echo. It's 100% wool. Her pants are by St. Michel. They are belted at the waist, and they have slash pockets.
Thank you, Robin. And here's Jessica.
Jessica is wearing a outfit by St. Michel. They make everyday wear, evening wear. You can dress it up or down. She's wearing a pin by Binky and Lulu, and her belt is a red cummerbund by Emmanuel, which is a company from Canada.
Very good, Gail, and thank you, Jessica. And Sarah's back with a
Hi,
formal
Sarah.
outfit.
Sarah's wearing an outfit by Marissa Christina. Her sweater is beaded at the collar and down the front. Her skirt is satin for the holidays. This would be great for any Christmas party.
Hopefully her father will come in and buy her that. Thank you, Sarah. And what is Brooke Carter wearing?
She has on a pair of slippers by Hughes. They're 100% cotton and they have a nice suede sole.
Uh-huh.
Her nightgown is by Katz. It's a flannel nightgown, which is also 100% cotton with bunny rabbits around the neck.
I guess so.
Be nice and warm for those cold winter nights.
Thank you very much, Brooke. I think it would be, yes. And now we have Cece Johnson.
Cece Johnson is wearing a black velour dress by Visions. It is attached with rhinestones at the waist, and it has, again, a petal hemline at the knee. It's accessorized with all rhinestone necklace, earrings, bracelet.
Very nice, and thank you, Cece. And now Tessa Brophy is ready to go out for the evening also.
Yes, she's modeling a dress by Belle France. It has a V-neck with a nice bodice line to give it a nice fit.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Thank you, Tessa. And here's Robin Guthrie once again for her last trip through.
Robin's wearing a cotton sweater by Eric Stewart, and we have a new kind of attachment for your scarf this year. You slide it through, and it just gives it a dressier look. The little gold thing on her scarf.
What about that little watch she's wearing?
Oh, this is also new for our store. We have Cherokee watches in all different sizes and shapes. We have neons, we have beaded, Navajo type.
That's
we
enough
have regular
of that. And thank you very much, Robin. And here's Jessica Rhodes.
Jessica Rhodes. This is a new sweater company. It's Importer's Outlet. It's 100% wool. Her bag is made in Belgium. It's a tapestry shoulder bag, and her pants are by Beware.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Sarah McFarland back again.
Sarah McFarland is ready for any sport event this winter in a Cheerful Corporation jogging suit.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Well, that's it for Gail's Garb. Thank you very much, and I hope you all out there found something here that you would like to buy for Christmas Right, Gail?
Right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Yes, and we'll be right back with some more fashions and Beacon Bills right after these messages. The Christmas shopping headache.
Huge traffic jams, no parking spaces, slow-moving mobs, overcrowded shops, pushy people, long checkout lines, it's just too much.
Solution: shop Bar Harbor.
No traffic jams, parking is easy, sidewalks are pleasing, uncrowded shops, no checkout lines, nice scenic drive, what a great idea!
Do yourself a favor and shop Bar Harbor this Christmas, and have dinner too. The Acadia Shop is brimming with beautiful gifts for everyone on your Christmas list, from toys and stocking stuffers to jewelry and sweaters. The Acadia Shops feature Maine-crafted merchandise throughout the shop, including many items produced right here on Mount Desert Island. Don't forget to check our tape and video selection, and of course our ever-changing window displays at the Acadia Shop, 85 Main Street in Bar Harbor. Well, we packed up our little bags and walked down the street a little bit. That's the girls and I, and we're down here at Edge Trading Company with Phyllis Edmondson. Thank you for having us in.
Thank you.
And we're going to show you some of what Phyllis has to sell this Christmas, and hopefully she'll sell a lot of it.
I hope so.
And we're going to start off with Cece and Tessa and Robin right now. And here's Robin Guthrie.
Robin is wearing a lavender corduroy straight skirt along with a lavender Shetland wool cardigan. Her turtleneck is white, all by Cambridge.
Very lovely. Thank you very much, Robin. And now, here's Tessa Brophy once again.
Tessa is wearing a navy blue and white two-piece dress. It's 100% cotton.
And we must mention that everything is how many percent off down here?
50% off.
50% off. Thank you very much, Tessa. And here's Cece. Ooh, and what is this?
Cece is wearing a royal blue turtleneck, print turtleneck. Okay,
that's all right.
Along with a black cardigan sweater made of wool and a royal blue skirt made of corduroy.
Do you do this for a living?
The TV, no. Can't you tell?
Very nice. Thank you very much, Cece. Robin back again. She's the fastest change artist I know. Actually, all the girls are. What is she wearing?
Robin is wearing a yellow-ribbed cotton jersey with blue cotton pants, along with her wide brown leather belt.
Very nice, Robin. And here we go with Tessa again. And
Tessa is wearing black printed
You're supposed to look at the page.
Cotton pants along with a white ribbed blouse, cotton blouse, and it has the
Go ahead.
The rhinestone buttons which set the blouse off very nicely.
All right, and thank you very much, Tessa. And here's Cece with a very lovely sweater.
Cece is wearing white, or I should say ivory, corduroy pants, along with a lavender floral print sweater, and that is made of cotton.
And these are all Cambridge dry goods?
These are all Cambridge dry goods.
Okay. Thank you very much, Cece. And here's Robin once again, in her captain's outfit.
This is a fantastic grouping that has just come in, and it's so springy with a polka dot and all, and there is a lot of mix and match here. And it's the French terry double-breasted cardigan, and the pink turtleneck, and of course the polka dot.
I was going to tell people not to adjust their television sets.
Stretch pants, which are fantastic.
Thank you, Robin. Tessa, and whoa, the pink keeps on rolling.
Yes, and another French terry top, along with the striped pants.
It's a feminine pirate outfit.
Right, right.
Thank you very much, Tessa. Now.
And Cece is wearing a cotton printed skirt along with a white. The only thing about this blouse, it is not Cambridge. That's the only, I think, piece of fabric here that's made by someone else.
Pretty,
yes. And the wide leather belt.
Well, Phyllis, Cece, this is it for fashion, but I think since we have a little extra time, and we're going to take a little trip over to the other side of the store in Beacon Bills and watch a little documentary about your son.
Right.
How's that sound?
Great.
The natural beauty of Mount Desert Island has attracted and inspired many bird carvers over the years, including Wendell Gilley. One present-day artist, Wayne Edmondson, was drawn to the island and now lives and works here, carving birds at Beacon Bills in Bar Harbor.
Just to be around such a nature-oriented area is inspirational to, as far as the habitat goes, and just to be able to go out and clear your mind, just being in the national parks, just spending some time amongst the beauty.
The beauty Wayne sees is reflected in the timeless beauty of his own work.
Personally, I enjoy putting the animation into a piece, stopping a moment in time just with the birds out in flight, taking off or landing.
Although Wayne continues in the traditions and techniques of Wendell Gilley and others, it is his own imagination that resolves the tension between the demands of reality and the desire for artistic interpretation.
So I have to do a little bit of, say, imagination work, because even with a photograph I'm working with three-dimensional objects, so I have to use my imagination to how the bird would actually be posed, or how the wind or the air turbulence would affect the feathers.
Wayne's work begins with an idea, research and bookwork, as well as some paperwork, before he even touches a piece of wood.
You just sketch out the bird and your idea until you get something that you like on paper. And at that point, you start to transfer it into wood. Put your side pattern on, and then you put your top pattern on, and then basically cut it out on a bandsaw. And from that point, you start to round it out to, you do not want any lumps or bumps. You want it to be a smooth flowing piece. So once you have a nice flow to the piece, then you start to put on the feather groups. You start to lay in the primaries and the secondaries. After you get all that on, you start to put the real fine detail in. You start to burn in all the feather details. You burn in every single feather individually and bring it up to as much detail as you want at that point. And after that is, of course, you then realistically paint it, which you usually have to go out and do your research again on the colors, depending on the season that you intend to portray. You usually work on the habitat throughout the entire carving of the piece. As you work on the bird in your mind, you're developing the habitat, how you want to display it. You have to, in your mind, see what you want, and you work toward that point. You do not, unfortunately, always end up with exactly what you see in your mind. I suppose it's good that you never quite achieve what you're hoping to. If you ever hit one right on the nose, I think you'd probably quit carving. That's kind of the inspiration to go on, as you've got one more thing to prove to yourself.
Holiday greetings from your friends at Medical Associates, Southwest Harbor and Bar Harbor. Pizza to go? That's right. The Town Hill Country Store has homemade pizza to go, plus daily luncheon specials. Also new to the store is a large choice of domestic and imported beer and a large selection of French and American wines. For the non-grocery item, Town Hill Country has hardware and auto supplies, as well as a full line of boots and gloves. Town Hill Country Store, the complete general store. All right, everybody, coming up, basketball. All basketball games to be aired on Cable Channel 5 will start at 6:30 and run until 8:30 p.m. Each game will air only once in Bar Harbor and Southwest Harbor. And the first game's coming up on December 11th. It's the boys versus Orono. That will play in Bar Harbor, and on December 11th again, the girls versus Orono, and that will play in Southwest. MDI Trojans basketball, 1989-90 season. Now we're at the Town and Country with Davey Adler, and I'm Crocodile Dobbs. and we're going to see what Gary has for fashions. And he's got some great hats, but now we're going to see what the girls are wearing. And the girls all seem to be wearing some athletic wear. What are they wearing, Gary?
This is called fitness wear, Marika fitness wear. And it's 100% cotton with a little bit of spandex. And
what's the
she's
spandex
wearing a roll down. It helps to keep its shape. The cotton makes it very comfortable to breathe.
Very nice, Brooke. Come right over here and help us out. That's okay. Next is Ginger.
Good.
And what's Ginger wearing, Gary and Brooke?
Ginger is wearing a camisole leotard. And
with the
also
capri
capri
tights.
Ah, very nice. Thank you very much, Ginger. And Cece, what is she wearing right now?
A pair of bike tights, black bike tights, with a roll-down waist trunk and a tank crop.
Very good. Thank you very much, Cece. Oh, and it's time for bed. And Sarah McFarlane, what in the devil are you wearing?
100% cotton Lions pajamas with a matching doll.
And slippers.
And slippers.
Ain't that cunning?
Yes.
And Robin, come on out.
It's a Woolrich flannel nightgown.
With sheeps.
Little blue and purple green sheep on it.
All right. Thank you very much, Robin. And here is
It's
Tessa.
a beautiful Lions bathrobe. It's reversible.
Is it?
Yes.
And it's got a little
It's not a
cute little mouse on it.
Thank you very much, Tessa. And now we're still being helped by Brooke. Thank you, Brooke. And who is this? Ginger. What's she wearing?
She's wearing a 65% polyester shirt with 35% cotton. Her jeans are black, made by Calvin Klein.
Very, very nice. Thank
Nice
you,
outfit.
Ginger.
Thank you, Ginger.
And now, none other than Tessa Brophy.
Tessa's wearing Bugle Boy jeans, faded, with a black Cambridge Spirit wool turtleneck sweater.
Mm-hmm.
It's very pretty.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much, Tessa. And here's Cece.
Cece's wearing a hand-knit Icelandic wool sweater with black Calvin Klein jeans. It's a nice sweater.
Yes, it is. And that's an Icelandic sweater, too. Thank you, Cece. And now, here's Robin.
Robin's wearing Calvin Klein turtleneck sweater and also Calvin Klein white jeans.
Very nice. Thank you, Robin. Sarah McFarlane, step right up here.
Sarah is wearing a 100% cotton fleece jogging suit. It's nice for running.
Thank you, Sarah. Don't run off with that. And here's Brooke once again, the quick change artist. What is she wearing, Mr. Adler?
She's wearing a very pretty skirt, corduroy, buttons up the back. It's a green sweater, crew neck with a very pretty scarf that goes with it.
Yes, it is. Now, Brooke, please come over here and join us, because we need help. And here comes Ginger.
Ginger's wearing a red cardigan.
Yes, she is.
Beautifully buttoned up, a red pleated skirt with great designs on it. Beautiful designs.
Wonderful designs.
Great for Christmas.
Yes, it is. It's definitely a Christmassy outfit. Thank you very much, Ginger. Here's Tessa. And it was...
Tessa is wearing a mohair cotton, sweater with cotton flannel shirt.
I can't bail you out here.
On a pleated skirt.
Very nice.
Also with beautiful designs.
Thank you. And Cece?
Cece's wearing a Woolrich pine green Calvin Klein
Okay.
cardigan.
Sweater, yeah.
Beautifully printed. These are also Calvin Klein jeans.
Very nice. Thank you, Cece. And here's Robin once again.
She's wearing a suede one-piece dress.
If that isn't suede, I'll give you $10. Very nice. That's full length, what you call it?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And last, but not, well, this isn't last. Sarah's just back again one more time.
Sarah's wearing a black mohaired sweater with a black pleated skirt. Very
Thank you
dark
very much.
outfit.
And back in a flash is Brooke with a lovely dress. Describe it to me, Gary.
Well, it's a lovely blue dropped waist jumper dress with a separate blouse that matches it, that goes with it very nicely.
Okay. And Brooke's going to come over and help us out one more time. And here's Ginger once again.
Ginger's wearing a flowered rayon dress by Jody, accented by pink buttons and coordinating pink piping on the collar.
Gary's getting out of this easy. Very nice, Ginger. Thank you. Tessa in the black velvet.
Tessa's wearing black velvet princess-style dress by Lands, featuring an open back.
You can wear that to the senior prom. Thank you, Tessa. And Cece, what is she wearing?
Cece is wearing the same velvet princess style by Lands, but this time it's in a fuchsia with a full back.
Thank you. Whoa, Robin is dressed to the nines here.
She's wearing a black embossed leather half-length jacket by Come In, and underneath is a straight black leather skirt.
I'll just have a little bit longer gander at that. Thank you very much. And here's Sarah, and she's last.
Sarah's in a purple printed peplum-style dress by Act 1. This simple but lovely dress is manufactured from a flowing silk-like material.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, I hope you saw something that you can buy for these girls or your family. Gary would love you to come down and spend a lot of money this Christmas in Bar Harbor. Right, Gary?
Correct.
Correct. A man, a few words. And next, we are all going to pack up and head over to Southwest Harbor and Periwinkles right after these messages. Pizza to go? That's right. The Town Hill Country Store has homemade pizza to go, plus daily luncheon specials. Also new to the store is a large choice of domestic and imported beer and a large selection of French and American wines. For the non-grocery item, Town Hill Country has hardware and auto supplies, as well as a full line of boots and gloves. Town Hill Country Store, the complete general store. Get hot this Christmas and give something warm. Boots, shirts, jackets, mittens, and more for the whole family at Willie's Style Center on High Street in Ellsworth, and everything's 30% off.
At Provisions in Northeast Harbor, you'll find a fascinating array of specialty products for the experienced cook or the budding chef. We have a wide variety of interesting items that make perfect gifts and great stocking stuffers. All of our prime and choice meats are cut to order. We have the only supply of game birds and rabbit available in the area. For your holiday dining, why not enjoy a standing rib roast? We also have a fine selection of cheeses, brie, saga, and Italian Parmesan. When in Northeast Harbor, stop in for homemade soups Monday through Saturday. Join us for lunch or take it home to enjoy.
And moving right along now, we've come way over to Periwinkles in Southwest Harbor, and Marty Hanscom has run out the door in fright, but she's left Hazel Butler here to help us out in showing fashions here at Periwinkles, which are
Woolrich and Lands and our new Lord Isaac line in Powder Point that we'll be showing today.
And all of this is on sale?
Yes, all 30% off.
Up until Christmas?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And we've lost a few of our models. We'd like to thank them, but Tessa stayed with us, and we've gained Josh and Greg, Johanna, and Shelley. Here's Tessa, fresh from Bar Harbor.
She is wearing our Woolrich wool sweater and our corduroy Woolrich skirt with buttons in the back, as you can see.
Yes.
We carry an extensive line of Woolrich sweaters.
I noticed.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Tessa. And here's Josh.
And he has on a Woolrich shirt. That's cotton. We also have flannel and Woolrich cotton pants. And his jacket, too, if you'll stand there a minute.
Yes, and open it up, maybe.
He opens it up, and that makes into a vest.
Well, whoa.
So it makes a winter jacket and a spring jacket and a vest.
Dog my cats. Thank you very much, Josh. And this is Johanna wearing a lovely,
yes,
lovely.
This is our lines, our holiday dresses. And pretty for holiday wear.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say in her shoes.
Well, if we get her to stand there for a second,
okay.
We can drop right down.
Our new line of shoes, our Olam shoes that we carry in a lot of different colors.
You have to stand and be very patient, Johanna. Okay, those are lovely. Thank you, Johanna. And here's Greg.
And he also has a Woolrich coat. and a Woolrich cotton shirt. Those are 100% cotton shirts, and the Woolrich corduroys.
Okay. Maybe after Greg turns, he'll unzip his jacket a little bit.
That's the same style.
Same style. Velcro and zipper.
And the belt.
Okay, thank you very much, Greg. He's in a hurry. Here's Shelley.
And Shelley has one of our Woolrich wool sweaters. That's another one. And a Woolrich cotton shirt and the Woolrich corduroy skirt.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's take a longer look at that.
Yeah, that's a new color, too, for this fall.
Oh, thank you very much, Shelley. Tessa returns, all wrapped up.
And she has our ladies' Woolrich winter coat on. And our new Lord Isaac wool pants, and they're fully lined. They're wool and polyester, so they wear
Okay, we can take a little peek down at those.
They're all fully lined in the wool. And they're a comfortable
We caught her.
pants.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you very much, Tessa. And here's Josh back with a lovely sweater.
Yes, he has our Woolrich wool sweater. We have a lot in the men's as well as the ladies. And that's a hand knit sweater, too.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Josh. And Johanna's ready to go to bed.
Johanna has our Lions pajamas. They're 100% cotton. They're flannel. And the slippers to match. She's also carrying an Eden snowman. That's our Eden stuffed toy line.
Well, let's see him for a second. She's choking him to death. There he is. Thank you, Johanna. And Greg.
And Greg has one of our Woolrich wool sweaters on.
Very nice.
And that comes in blue and gray as well as the green.
And just stand there for a second so everybody can take in Greg's sweater. And thank you very much. Here's Shelley McEachern.
And she has one of our Lions nightwear on. This is our night dress that's 100% cotton, flannel, and the slippers that match. And she has our Eden teddy bear.
All right, let's take a peek at those slippers.
Those have little teddy bears on them, too.
Oh, yes. Well, look at those. Okay. Shelley, thank you very much. And Josh has quickly changed into something rather nice.
He has a Woolrich wool jacket on, and a red chamois shirt you can see as he unzips his jacket when he turns
Get him to do that.
That's our Woolrich chamois shirts. We have those in a lot of different colors, too.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Josh. Johanna is wearing a lovely sweater.
Yes, that's our new powder point line of our sweaters and the Lord Isaac pants that are made to mix and match.
And who makes the sweater?
The powder point.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Johanna. Greg ran out and threw on a chamois shirt and a nice looking sweater.
That's our Woolrich chamois, like the one that Josh had on. It comes in many colors. And our Woolrich cotton sweaters. We have a big line of cotton sweaters, too.
Let's take a look at that sweater. Oh, very nice. Thank you, Greg. And last, and unfortunately least, Shelley.
Shelley has our Lions dress on for holiday. That's corduroy.
Christmas Eve.
Yes. It's really soft corduroy. It almost has a velvet look.
Let's take a long gander at that one. Well, thank you very much, Hazel.
Well, thank you.
Where do you think Marty went?
I don't know, but we'll find her.
Yes. And we forgot to mention that this rack right here, which is summer wear, is 40% off. Not only 30%, but 40% off. Okay. And that's at Periwinkle's. Well, we hope we enjoyed it. I know we did, but hope you enjoyed the fashion show and that you go to Gales Garb, Town & Country, Edge Trading Company, and here at Periwinkle's and spend lots of money. Don't go to Bangor. It's a long trip, you waste gas, and you can save just as much money by shopping here on the island. That's it for today's show, and stay tuned for next week's show where we visit some more people and do some interesting things and more Christmas concerts. We'll see you on the flip-flop. Well, coming up next, for those of you who are starving to death and would love to dream about going out to dinner tonight or tomorrow night or the next night, I'm going to go over to Mama DiMattio's. I'm still looking for Mama, but I have a feeling I'm not going to find her, but we'll settle for Eric Olson. Well, we're with none other than Eric Olson and Mama DiMattio's. And once again, Eric, where is Mama?
Geez, this year she must be out at the bar mixing drinks.
We're going to catch her one time. Every time we go in the kitchen, she's out in the front. We go out in the front, she's out in the kitchen. So maybe next year, can we visit Mama?
We'll see. We'll give her a try.
All right, she's kind of shy. Well, we're at Eric and David's brand new location, and I'm going to let you explain where it is.
We've moved up to the top of Rodick Street, right across from the fire department and Darling's Auto Supplies, in the downtown Bar Harbor now.
It's where the old town farm used to be, and Gift's Place. And how does it feel to have your own home?
Great. We're very happy to be here. It's a nice move for us, most definitely.
Okay. What are you going to cook up for us today?
Today we're going to be doing our herbed garlic bread. It's called focaccia. And then we'll be doing roasted red peppers and fettuccine frutti di mare.
Is that what you can smell when you're walking by down by the village green?
In the oven definitely lets out the aroma.
All right, well, let's get her going here.
Okay, for the garlic bread, we start out with 2 cups of warm water. You want it to be right around 100 degrees because you don't want it too hot or it will kill the yeast. And from there, we take 2 teaspoons of salt.
Now, is this low cholesterol?
Yes, actually, I believe it would be no cholesterol. It's got olive oil in it, which has got no cholesterol. And I take 2 teaspoons of sugar.
That's for all you people who have just found out your cholesterol level is too high, just like I did.
And a tablespoon of yeast. Sprinkle that over the top of the water.
Just like that?
Yeah.
The exact wrist.
Yeah, you gotta have that wrist action in there.
Okay.
Okay, now to that we'll add 3 cups of white flour. And a pinch of oregano. And a pinch of basil.
That's a pinch. Okay.
Yeah,
I was wondering what a pinch was.
That's a big pinch. And just mix that up. This is a great bread to make. It doesn't require the kneading that a lot of breads do have to have. So it's very simple to make. It's very simple to shape. It's very quick. And it's nice. It's a little different from the classic Italian bread that most of the Italian restaurants serve.
Now, is this the bread that you serve before every meal? Or
yes, this is the bread we serve at our meals. It's something people have been asking for years for the recipe, and we finally decided to divulge it. And we dump that into the
Well, I've been eating it, and maybe Karen will grab it. Maybe she's watching the show. She'll write it down.
So, and it's a nice one because it's really simple. It's no kneading time, no shaping time.
I know. Even an idiot like me could make this.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about it. And take a little bit of olive oil and garlic that you have here to put over the top of it.
Whoa! That's good stuff.
Just spread that around the top a little bit.
Gotta have that garlic.
And that is Mama's garlic bread.
That's it?
That's it. From there we set it on top of the oven. And we let it rise for about 15 to 20 minutes.
And what does it look like when it's all done?
Just happen to have one here.
Yes.
This is the finished product.
All right.
You get a nice light brown color with a nice roasted garlic on top of it. It's very tasty. People definitely have enjoyed it over the years.
So you come over here if you've never been to Mama's before, and you come in for dinner or lunch. No breakfast, right?
No breakfast.
No breakfast. Just actually, while we're talking about it, what are your hours going to be this winter?
For lunch, we serve 11 till 2, Monday through Saturdays.
Specials and different
specials daily, yeah. We do have a lot of vegetarian items on both lunch and dinner menus, along with our specials and seafood items. And dinners, we serve weekdays 5 till 9, and Fridays and Saturdays till 9:30.
You're not taking any vacations, are you?
Maybe after the new year, but not until then.
I don't blame you. And you'll get, as I said before, you get this with every meal. It's delicious. Makes you feel, well, that's not that fattening.
No, it's good for you.
Good for you.
Good stuff.
What else are we going to make?
Okay, from there we're going to do roasted red peppers. You start out with a sweet red pepper. And this is a fun one because all you do to this is you burn it, which is a nice change for people to be able to do.
All right.
And it takes probably about 5 or 10 minutes. Just set it right over an open flame. If you don't have a gas stove, you can do it underneath the broiler of an electric oven and put it very close to the burner. And just let it go, and your whole idea is to just let it burn.
Jeez,
you can't overdo it, but you end up, your final product is an item that looks like this. And then from there you take the skin and peel it off. That's like so. And it peels off very easily after it's been burned like that.
Well, he's cooking over there.
We'll let it go. It takes about 10 minutes from start to finish to actually get the product done. Yeah, you keep, as it blackens, you turn it and turn it so you get all of it evenly cooked. And after you get all the skin peeled off, you run it under water, it'll get the little black things that are left.
And then what does it look like?
This is your final product.
Let's see. And this once again is called?
This is a roasted red pepper. When you do the blackened like that, it really gives it a nice, almost like a nutty flavor to it, which is really very tasty.
And it's served just like this?
Yeah, you can serve it. It's excellent as an appetizer or a side dish. Just cut it in half and get the seeds out of it. The way we serve it here is we do it in a baking dish with some olive oil. It's excellent with the bread to have a side dish of this.
I can have this. This is no cholesterol.
No cholesterol here. It's excellent with our bread with olive oil or with olive oil, and then you dunk the bread in the olive oil and a little roasted red pepper. It's a very tasty, very nice item like that.
I have to get used to eating a lot of stuff like this.
That's a lot of our food here is good for you in that sense.
It's all good for you.
Well, it's all good, and most of it's good for you.
That is good.
Okay. Just cut it into strips is the way we serve it.
Here, I'm going to work over here and flip this one. Is that all right?
Sure.
There we go. All right.
So you do want to get it very thoroughly blackened. Any of the parts of the skin that don't burn are going to be very tough to peel off because it doesn't separate from the pepper inside, actually.
And you serve this with any number of dishes?
Yeah, it's excellent with seafood, with steaks, with pastas, chicken. I said it's great just as an appetizer. It's excellent with our garlic bread. There's many different ways you can serve it. It's really an easy item to serve with different things.
Okay. What else are you going to show us?
Then our next dish will be our fettuccine frutti di mare, which is seafood of the sea.
Is that Italian?
Or fruit of the sea, I'm sorry. Yes, that's Italian.
Okay.
And for that, we have a 1/4 pound of scallops, a 1/4 pound of shrimp, 1 tomato that's been diced.
Let me get this out of here.
Yeah.
Give you a hand.
We serve it with a fresh tomato fettuccine, which we have right here. And to do that, grab my pan.
All right. I'll keep an eye on the pepper.
Okay.
Because I'm going to take that one. I'm going to take that one home with me.
Now we put in a 1/4 cup of masala wine, a 1.5 cups of heavy cream.
If you just tuned in, we're making frutti di mare.
And we put this over on the stove.
That's
and
Eric Olson. Mama
cook
Demadios.
it to reduce it. You want to reduce it by about half. It's about a 10-minute process.
Okay.
And we put the pasta in to cook.
Now this one has, like you said, shrimp and scallops.
We put shrimp and scallops in ours. You could put crab meat, lobster, haddock, really any type of seafood you want. Shrimp and scallops is just the type of seafood we decided to use. Okay. And so now we want to reduce the cream by about half. That's about a 5-minute process. And when that's reduced, we'll add the tomatoes, the red peppers, the shrimp, the scallops, a little bit of basil, and a little bit of fresh ground pepper. And that's all that's in that.
The Christmas shopping headache.
Huge traffic jams, no parking spaces, slow-moving mobs, overcrowded shops, pushy people, long checkout lines, it's just too much.
Solution: shop Bar Harbor.
No traffic jams, parking is easy, sidewalks are pleasing, uncrowded shops, no checkout lines, nice scenic drive, what a great idea!
Do yourself a favor and shop Bar Harbor this Christmas, and have dinner too. Here's a couple of Christmas gift ideas for friends and relatives who are less fortunate and don't live on this beautiful island of ours. Portrait of an Island and Autumn in Acadia. Available at Dobbs Productions, The Acadia Shop, Sherman's Bookstore, First Exposure, and Don's Shop and Save. Get hot this Christmas and give something warm. Boots, shirts, jackets, mittens, and more for the whole family at Willie's Style Center on High Street in Ellsworth, and everything's 30% off.
Through the magic of video, we have zoomed ahead in time because we didn't want to stand around for 5 or 10 minutes while Eric's cream sauce would do so. We're now over at the stove, and Eric's going to continue on his dish. What was it called again?
Fettuccine frutti di mare.
Okay, write that down.
And the cream has reduced. Now to this, I'm going to add our shrimp. And our scallops.
I can have shrimp once in a while.
And we have our diced tomatoes. And the roasted red peppers.
Aha!
Okay, and then we let that cook for about 2 or 3 more minutes to cook the seafood. Don't want to overcook the seafood.
Okay, you just kind of shake that around and
swirl it around.
Swirl it around? Yeah. Well, while that's cooking, let's talk about Mama DiMattio's. First of all, what's different about this place that you didn't have before?
We do have a lounge area now, a bar area, so we can serve drinks to folks that want to sit in, stop in, have a cocktail.
Oh, I don't know anybody who does that.
Oh, no, I'm sure. Whether it's if you've got a pickup order that you're picking up, you can sit and have a drink while you're waiting for your order, or après-ski if we've got some snow and you're cross-country skiing.
Yes.
Then you can come in after your day out skiing and get a nice hot toddy or something to warm you up.
What kind of specialty hot drinks you're going to serve?
We do a lot of coffee drinks. We do hot buttered rum. We did an Applejack, which is apple cider and Jack Daniels. It's warmed. It's a very tasty, nice drink with a cinnamon stick in it. We do quite a lot of drinks like that.
Where's David right now? See, he got to be in the commercial this summer, but he's not in the one right now. He's out doing the bookwork.
He's out paying the bills. Got to keep the bill collectors happy.
Okay. Anything different on the menu that you didn't have at Mama DiMattio's when you were over on Mount Desert Street?
No, it is the same menu. As we found people have been very happy with our menu, and we feel they liked it, so no need to change it much.
But on Saturday nights, you said you're running a special?
Saturday nights, actually, yes. We are doing our apple smoked baby back ribs. We serve those with baked beans and potato salad, and those people have definitely enjoyed.
And pizza, actually everything on the menu is available to go.
Yes, our whole menu. We do the pizzas. Our whole menu also is available to go, or in the Bar Harbor area, we do free delivery. So if it's snowing out, you don't want to go out and fight the weather, just give us a ring.
So if it's midnight and I'm hungry, I can just call you up.
Well, I'll be home in bed at midnight, but if it's before 9 o'clock,
okay.
Give us a ring.
So write that down. And also, if you come in here, Eric will give you a menu to go, so you can take it home with you so you know what to order when you call on the phone.
Yes.
How's our meal doing over here?
It's looking good. Another minute maybe, and it should be done.
Okay. Well, what else can we talk about here? Now, the same good things you've always had on your menu. You have your lasagna.
Got lasagna. We do a veal or chicken piccata. So veal and chicken is coated in Parmesan cheese and served with a fresh black pepper pasta and a lemon wine and caper sauce.
Mussels, oregano, or something?
No, we don't do the mussels this year. In the wintertime, we find it's hard to get mussels consistently, so we have to take those off the menu.
What about fresh fish dishes or things like that?
Fresh fish, we have shrimp, scallops, haddock. We do a blackened Cajun haddock. It's very popular.
Yes,
very spicy, but people seem to enjoy it.
Yes, and also high in cholesterol, but you can have it once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while it's good for you.
How are we doing over here?
I think this is about ready.
Okay, let's head on over to the counter.
Yeah, great.
I'll follow you. Okay. Hope I get to try some of this.
Okay, and here's our tomato fettuccine.
Those plates look just like fish. Fruity Demar. I'm never going to remember the name of this. Fruity
Demar.
Fruity Demar. Sounds
Fruit
like
of the sea.
Like Hedy Lamar.
Portioned out nice and evenly there. Okay.
This looks good.
Scoop it out over
Come right down tonight and try some of this stuff.
Yeah, it's a popular dish. People have definitely enjoyed it.
Okay. And if you don't mind if I ask, how much does this go for on the menu?
Gosh, I think $12.95, but I'm not really sure.
Okay. Hey, David, how much does this go for? He's doing the books.
That is it.
Eric doesn't worry about money.
No, I don't have to worry about money. That's not my job.
But well, if it is $12.95, that's quite reasonably priced. That looks good. Can I try a little piece of the scallop?
Sure.
Great.
Yeah, she's hot.
Very good. Fruity Demar. Now remember, Eric Olson has moved down to the old town farm here on Rodick and Firefly Lane, I guess.
Yeah, Firefly Lane or Kennebec Place. People call it both.
If all of you you do have a "You've Moved" sign over there.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
So if you didn't read the sign, just come on down to the fire station, take a left, or up Rodick Street and take a right. Eric, thank you very much for letting us come into your kitchen today.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Although it's a lot smaller than the old kitchen.
Yes, isn't that nice?
But I'm sure it's a lot more efficient. So come on down to Mama DiMattio's and have a nice meal. Eric has free takeout, free anywhere in Bar Harbor. Also, you do catering and things like that.
Catering we do. Along
Christmas
with
parties.
Yeah.
You can't forget the Christmas parties.
No, it's that time of year again.
And I just want to wish you guys, you and David, good luck on your new restaurant.
Thank you very much,
I like it a lot
Appreciate
better.
it.
Okay.
We're happy with it.
We'll be right back with more of the Christmas show right after this. Kibo Valley 100-year anniversary video on sale now for only $19.95. This 60-minute documentary tells the story of Kibo Valley Country Club from its early beginnings to its 100-year gala celebration, featuring highlights from Casey Jones' retirement roast and old film footage of golf greats Walter Hagen and Joel Kirkwood at Kibo. Available only at Dobbs Productions and Video. Best wishes for the holidays from the crew at Don Shop and Save.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! And Happy New Year!
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year!
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year!
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year! Jingle bells!
Don Shop and Save, where shopping is always a pleasure.
I spoke of the ultimate Christmas present earlier, and now we're going to take you to the place that makes it. I know you wives are looking for just that right little thing to buy your husband. Why not buy him a brand new Hinckley Sou'wester? They're only maybe $750,000 or $1 million, but it's something to dream about. And now we're going to head over to Southwest Harbor and Hinckley Boat and see how they're made.
The Hinckley Company was founded by Henry R. Hinckley in 1928. For 31 years, the company built both power and sailboats in wood and grew by the 1940s to become the largest producer of wooden auxiliary sailboats in the United States. In 1959, Henry Hinckley turned to fiberglass as a superior material for boat building. In that year, the company built its last wooden boat and its first fiberglass boat. Most boat builders saw fiberglass as their ticket to mass production. They seized upon the new material to build more, less expensive boats fast. But Henry Hinckley decided on a different approach. Rather than laying off his carpenters and the craftsmen who had built the wooden Hinckley's, Henry determined to use the material only in decks and hulls to protect the woodwork in the interior of the boat. Purposefully limiting the number of boats he built each year, Henry concentrated not on building more boats, but building better boats. Ironically, the Hinckley Company, which in the 40s had been the largest producer of wood auxiliaries, became and continues to be one of the lowest value producers of sail and power boats in the United States. They are considered to be among the finest boats in the world. Today, the Hinckley Company continues to limit its production to between 15 and 20 boats a year. We maintain a workforce of 120 craftsmen who work year-round to produce these boats, which range in size from 40 to 60 feet. Each will take between 8 months and a year to complete, and will require between 8,000 and 20,000 man-hours. A Mercedes-Benz four-door sedan requires approximately 125 man-hours to assemble. When a customer orders a Hinckley boat, he chooses from among proven designs drawn by the world's leading marine architects and representing the latest thinking in hydrodynamics. The process is overseen by Hinckley's design team. The size of the hull is fixed, but once that selection is made, a wide variety of choices remain for the customer to build a boat that precisely fits his needs. In a power boat, that means the engines, electronic equipment, and interior layout. In a sailboat, it means rig, underwater appendages such as rudder and keel, draft, deck hardware, electronics, and interior amenities. All these decisions are made by the owner with the help of Hinckley's design and engineering department, utilizing the latest CAD/CAM computer technology. The building process begins with the molding of the hull. Hinckley boats are built in a two-piece female mold with each half of the hull partially laid up before the two halves are joined. After the molds are cleaned thoroughly and waxed with a releasing agent, The gel coat, which becomes the outer skin of the boat, is sprayed into the mold. After that is set up, the glass is laid, layer after layer, in a predetermined schedule with each piece pre-cut and marked for its location in the boat. Today, Hinckley boats are built with cored hull and deck. This coring material, sandwiched into the hull, provides additional strength without adding weight to the boat, and insulates the hull from temperature changes and for sound. At the same time the hull is being laid up, the prefab carpentry shop begins to build the interior units of the boat from the engineering plans. The woods that are used have been selected by the owner and commonly include mahogany, cherry, ash, teak, and holly. These woods come from around the world and are carefully selected for grain and color. When the hull is completed and removed from the mold, the keel and rudder are fitted. The owner may select a skeg-hung rudder, which protects the blade of the rudder and provides the lateral stability suitable for a cruising boat, or a balanced spade rudder, which provides the quickness of handling necessary for high performance. The ballast keel is solid lead, bolted externally to the glass deadwood. Typically, it will weigh approximately 1/3 of the design displacement of the boat. While the hull is still in the fiberglass shop, the through-hull fittings and chain plates are glassed into the hull. The chain plates, massive aluminum weldments, will carry the forces exerted on the standing rig and are fitted below the substantial hull flange, which in turn is molded in to accept the deck. The main bulkhead will reinforce this area. A copper bonding system consisting of heavy-gauge copper strapping ties together all metal through-hulls, chain plates, and electrical systems and is grounded through the keel bolts. This system concentrates electrolytic action on the sacrificial zinc that will be attached to the prop shaft, creates a good ground for a single sideband radio, and protects the boat and its passengers if lightning should strike the spars. The engine, tested, tuned, and modified for installation, is now lowered into the hull. The hull is ready to be rolled out of the fiberglass shop and brought on to the main line. Once on the line, a crew is appointed to this boat. Headed up by a lead man, the crew is responsible from this point forward with the finishing of this particular boat. They will fit the prefabricated furniture pieces into the boat, finish those pieces, schedule the work for the plumbers, electricians, and mechanics, oversee the fitting of the deck, and work with the owner on the details and custom installations which he will want on his boat. At any given time, somewhere between 6 and 8 boats are in production at the Hinckley Yard. The water tanks are prefabricated from stainless steel, and the fuel tank of Monel or aluminum. These are built in the metal fabrication shop, along with deck hardware such as Genoa tracks, stanchions, bow pulpits, stern pulpits, anchor bow roller, and other hardware, all of which are built exclusively of low-carbon stainless steel. Periodically, as the finished carpenters are fitting the interior of the boat, the electricians will come aboard to run wires, and plumbers to lay the fresh water systems and fit the galley fittings, sink, and head fixtures. Hinckley custom fabricates each electrical panel and builds the panel for the specific boat. All wiring is done by hand, with no harnesses being used. Even the harness which comes with the engine is discarded in favor of hand wiring. The wire used has an especially high tin content, which stands up better in a marine environment. The electronic equipment that the owner has selected for installation in the boat is bench tested before it is installed. The owner has his choice as to location and placement of this electronic equipment aboard the boat. After the plumbing, electronics, and all interior units are in place, the deck is lowered onto the hull and fastened into place. The deck, which has been built in the same way as the hull, is raised on chain falls and positioned over the hull. Much of the deck hardware has already been fitted. The deck is raised and lowered a number of times while bulkheads are trimmed to fit. The deck must fit on top of the hull flange and within the lip that is left on the hull for a true and honest fit. Each time the deck is in the low position, it is checked for high spots and low spots along the flange, and adjustments are made by laying up additional glass for a low spot or grinding down a high spot. When all is ready, the hull flange is wet down with bonding adhesive and the deck is lowered and set in place. The tow rail can now be fitted to reinforce the deck to hull joint. Stanchions can be fastened, and bow and stern pulpit can be fitted. All the fittings on the deck are drilled and tapped, and the fastenings threaded to prevent leaking. Meanwhile, the spar shop is busy building the mast for the boat. Aluminum extrusions are spliced together with interior reinforcement tubes and tapered at the masthead. The masthead unit itself is fabricated from aluminum, and all stainless steel tangs and mast fittings are built at the Hinckley shop. Back on the boat, the sewing department is now able to take measurements for building the cushions, upholstery, and curtains. The style of upholstery as well as the firmness of the bottom cushions again are the owner's choice. These are all built and covered with the owner's choice of fabrics in our sewing shop. These same craftspeople build the Dodgers, horseshoe life rings, biminis, sail covers, and other canvas work. Interior surfaces are spray varnished before installation in the hull. But working in the evenings when dust is low, the varnish and paint crew tackle the painstaking task of putting a finish on all exterior teak. There are no hard and fast rules as to the number of coats of varnish. Rather, the woods are varnished until they present a glass-like appearance. This can involve anywhere from 6 to 16 coats of gloss or satin varnish. Finally, the day arrives when the boat is removed from the carpentry line and taken to the paint shed for its finishing touches. The bottom is faired one more time, and 2 coats of epoxy barrier coat are applied to resist water infiltration into the gel coat layer. Then 2 coats of bottom paint are applied to retard marine growth. The owner's choice of color is sprayed in all grip, an extremely durable paint first used for aircraft. Finally, the owner's choice of name and the hail port of the boat are applied to the transom in gold leaf. The cove strip, done in gold leaf, is the identifying emblem of every Hinckley boat. It features a symbol called a talaria, and fittingly represents the winged foot of Mercury. The interior of the boat has been completed. All electronics are in place, and the varnish crew has brushed on the final coats of interior varnish. Upholstery has been fitted. The spars are stepped. Safety equipment, fenders, docking lines, and personal gear are aboard. Launching is always an exciting moment. A year has passed since the boat began to take form. She will now be delivered to the owner, and for the next few days an orientation process will be undertaken to totally familiarize the new owner with the systems and maintenance requirements of his boat. There is a family feeling and attitude which exists between the company, its employees, and owners. Founded on a mutual love of craftsmanship, fine boats, and the sea, the quality of the experience perpetuates this relationship and promises that there will be Hinckley boats for those who care to have the best for many generations to come.
Well, it's not far down to paradise, at least it's not for me. And if the wind is right, you can sail away and find tranquility. Oh, the canvas can do miracles.
Well, time's up for today's show. I just want to remind you that the Christmas show comes to you every day from now on until January 1st, from 3 to 5 in the afternoon, from 6:30 till 8:30 at night, and from 9 till 11, 3 times a day. And we'll be bringing you all kinds of good things that are going on around Mount Desert Island during Christmas time. I'm Jeff Dobbs, wishing you all happy shopping and a Merry Christmas.